Hi, how's it going? My name is Josue Chaitis, and I work for Top Tier Project Services, where we aim to change the face of American education. Today's lesson or short video series will be about the CIIO framework for day-to-day user AI, or the CIIO framework, right? So I'll let you read that for yourself and what it says, and let me talk about the CO framework. Now, when it comes down to using AI, you have to understand what is the right way to use AI. People tend to use AI like how you would use Google. While that is effective, if you use AI in that format to write a paper, to summarize a report, or to, plan out any sort of event sequence, what you're going to find is you're going to have problems with the outputs that you're getting, right? Quite simply, the machine just has way too much room to grow and way too much latitude and way too much freedom. And it's just going to come out with some outputs that may be good, may not be good, right? So what we do at Top Tier Project Services is we school you up on AI and show you how to use it in a better, faster, cheaper method, but also we leave out all of the fancy data science stuff and just talk in common terms, right? So input the CO framework. Quite simply, this is how you should talk to an AI. Why is that? Because it adds a lot of value to it. Now, first and foremost, the CO framework stands for context, instruction, in scope, what do I want you to do, and out of scope, what I don't want you to do, right? The foundational architecture behind all AI power communication and content generation within top tier project services. Now, the CO framework is not just a design convention, it's a trademark intellectual framework used to drive clarity, alignment, and accountability in every AI interaction. Some people don't understand that AI is about two things. It's about data, having access to the data or having the right kind of data. Remember, there's garbage in, then there's going to be garbage out. You want to have data that actually matters, right? And then two, it's also about control. How do you control that AI to make sure it looks at the data in the way you want it to look at and produces the outputs that you do? If you use the CO framework, it enables precision-driven outputs by ensuring the model understands the environment it operates in, right? What am I working with? The user's intent. What do you want me to do? And what are my defined boundaries? What is the example of something you want me to do? What's the example of something you don't want me to do, right? Now, when it comes to the CO framework, why does it matter? It's because everything's changing, right? There's many outputs, they end up failing due to ambiguity. Right? AI doesn't even know what you're asking. Overgeneralization, right? It's just talking way too general. It needs to ask follow-on questions, but it doesn't know to that because it has to be trained. Or maybe it's uncontrolled model behavior, right? This could result in hallucinations, right? Now, what is hallucination? Hallucination, quite frankly, is when the AI just makes stuff up, right? You can look up into the news right now, any sort of, there's definitely government documents out there that have like flat out hallucinations where it makes stuff up. So, if you're in the government space, maybe you should use a SEAL framework, right? To avoid these hallucinations. Hallucinations are quite frankly, the AI will make stuff up. There's atrocious hallucination rates if you just ask it questions like you would Google. That's why you're not going to. You're going to use the SEAL framework, right? Within that, there could be also ethical violations. Maybe there's irrelevance suggestions and inconsistency in tones. They're all symptoms of poor prompt structure, right? And what's a prompt structure or a prompt? It's what you're asking the AI to do. Now, it's the same way as how you talk to human beings, right? You can communicate poorly or you can communicate well. The difference is up to you. That's why we're using the SEAL framework. We solve this by creating those logical boundaries and semantic focus. Basically, it knows what you're talking about. It guides not just you as a human, because hey, I need to give it concepts, instruction, in scope and out of scope, but also guides the AI because that's how they learn. And that's how they learn off of you. And that's how it also will align because it makes it easier for it to query the data that you have at its disposal, whether it's searching the web or it's doing it in your own custom GPT or Copilot agents or AWS or ServiceNow. This is especially true for high trust environments such as workforce development, healthcare, defense, enterprise transformation, right? Government, where accuracy, accountability, strategic clarity are non-negotiable, right? So if you find yourself thinking that the AI is not as good as you are, you're right. It's not as good as you are, but if you use the prompt stats in the right way, use the CIIO framework, and start producing a lot better outputs that'll be based off of what you want it to produce. And at the end of the day, you got to remember, you're smarter than the AI. It's not smarter than us, at least not for now. So now here's the define, right? Context. Hey, you want to establish situational awareness, user intent, and operational backdrop. Context answers the why and what environment we are in. Hey, here's the context. You are a professional party planner planning a party for a bunch of elementary school age children. Instructions, right? This is where you state the specific task or objective the system is being asked to fulfill. I want you to help me identify what are the best activities that I can plan out that are good enough for all the students from all the kids from ages 5 to, let's say, 9 years old can all take part in it safely, right? In scope. For example, I want you to suggest things like bounce houses or different arts and crafts activities that we can do. Out of scope. What I don't want you to suggest is specific vendors from the web or anywhere else. I kind of got that together, right? Now, that's quite simply what it is. Context, what is it that we're doing? Instruction, what do I want you to do, right? In scope. This is an example of something I want you to do. Out of scope. This is an example of something I don't want you to do. Now you prep your model. It's ready to go. It understands what you want it to say. Now, how is it used in practice? You can use it for prompt creation, right? To create an actual assistant that'll help you for the rest of your life, right? Maybe you want to create an assistant that wants to balance your schedule, that wants to plan party activities. Maybe you want to create an assistant that helps you write different articles for LinkedIn, but keeps your tone and your message, right? You could also do this to develop your agents. Now, agents are essentially the next stage of AI. Once you know how to do prompts, right, and create prompt stats that work, and you could create assistants. Next thing you want to do is create those assistants as actual agents and GPTs that harness specific data. It's a lot of little stuff. I'm gonna show you in a couple other videos, but these are other stuff that you can do. And obviously adds a governance layer because it reduces out of scope definitions and it reduces any sort of issues with ethical guardrails requiring it to stay in line, right? This is how CIO is used in practice. Now, the benefits of this, we talked about the term hallucination, right? It means when the AI makes stuff up. So if you use the CIIO framework, the AI is not going to make as much stuff up, right? It's going to have out of scope boundaries. It trains the models, asks for clarity instead of assuming, right? It also increases the output relevance, right? It's important that whatever you get from the AI that you're using, that it's actually relevant to what you need, right? That's why you tell it the in-scope boundaries. It allows it to know, like, oh, this is the kind of stuff you want me to work on. Improve trust and compliance. There's a clear separation of what I do want you to do and what I don't want you to do. This again doubles down again on enforcing the right behavior. It's also scalable. The CIIO framework provides a repeatable modular foundation for building training agents across domains, clients, and use cases, right? Lots of words, right? What it really means, you can use the CIIO framework and how you talk to an AI. You could use the CIIO framework to create a prompt. You could use the CIIO framework to go ahead and create a prompt stack that kind of aligns to creating a GPT or AI agent, right? It just kind of helps you out in general to learn how to talk to AI. Well, I hope you guys like that. If you guys want to know more items like this and how to use AI, make sure you like and follow us on Instagram as well as YouTube and subscribe, ring our bell so that way you can get the latest content that we drop. Hopefully this has helped you. Let me know what other kind of content you'd like to see.